Greetings gamers! Welcome to part 42 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 9 Path of Radiance, and in today's episode there is much to do. First I must speak with Zelgius, but then go on a mission. A solo mission. So you're going to lead a small unit on a survey mission? Yes, that's the plan. However, though we've taken the castle of 3, there are still pockets of Dain resistance. It's possible they may try to mount an attack and retake the palace. I want you to be in charge of the watch. That is, of course, not a problem. However, you're taking the princess along. Don't you think it would be safer to take more troops? Even if we split our battalion, we have enough men to handle both tasks. I'm just not used to moving around with such a large group, and for this mission I'd like to keep the number of people involved as low as possible. It's not that I don't understand how you feel, but we will compromise. You know, for someone from Begnion, you're pretty flexible. It speeds things up considerably. To be a soldier, one must be able to quickly adapt to circumstances around him. Correct and proper English. You have to love it! Alright, I will be back later. Take care. This is the place Nazir mentioned, Palmeni Temple. I hope whatever he was trying to tell me will become clear once we get inside and look around. I still can't believe Nazir was on Dain's side. I just can't. And he let that dragon girl get away, although I'm sure he had his reasons for that as well. I wonder, was it really Nazir? Although besides my family, the only people I showed the medallion to were Titania, Princess Valencia, and Nazir. I thought I could trust him, I really did. Why? Why did he do it? Missed. Thinking about the past isn't going to help. Let's take a look at this temple. What did you say? The Crimean army is here? They want to investigate the temple. What should I tell them? Crud, this ain't good. I don't know what they're after, but if they find us mercenaries who sided with Dain, they'll wipe us out. It is all the will of the goddess. Resign yourself to your fate. Accept it. Bet done. No one's gonna roll over and die. Dying's for sissies. So tell me, how many are here? There appears to be 10 or so, including the women. That's good news. It is? If that's the lot of them, we can take care of this on our own. It'll be just like stealing a baby from the cradle. Right, then here's the plan. Pretend like you want to help them, then lead them inside. And listen good, you'd best not whisper a word about us being here or else. But what? I couldn't. What you ask is beyond me. Don't forget, we've got all the other priests under our control. Unless you want them to meet the goddess early, do as you're told. Oh dear. Palmeni Shrine. Is it a shrine or is it a temple game? Make up your mind. Alright, we'd like to take a look around. Please show us each room. Very well. This is a very large room. Are you all right? Why are you shaking like that? Oh, goddess, please forgive me. It's a trap. You did it. Please forgive me. I thought something like this might happen. I don't know how you got wind of us, but showing up in such a small group means you're out of luck. None of you are getting out of here alive. We fought our way to the Dain capital. You're not even going to slow us down. Cocky, ain't ya? But who said this was going to be a fair fight? Eh? What are you doing? Hey, bring out the others. You fools are going to be our shields. What? See, you ain't so useless after all. You filthy dogs, those are innocent people, you can't... Oh, mercy, please help me. Hey, if you don't want them pretty robes of yours turned red, you'll attack these scum. If you even think about betraying us, I'll kill every one of you. But you can't. Crimeans, please, forgive us. We cannot allow our brothers to die. This cowardice will not stand. These priests are being made to fight against their will. We've got to try and save as many of them as possible. Let's go. And save them I shall. That's my full intention. I'm not taking Leaf. Do need Volk. Tyronio. Who in this, in anyone's right mind would not take Titania? Then again, it is nice to have a lot of units who know how to shove. I halfway want to bench Mordecai and take Titania instead. In fact, I think that's a great and brilliant idea. I only think I need one so-called smiter. Let's see. What am I going to do here? Very important. I'm going to need some shover and smiters up top. I'd like two parties, one on each side. Only 6 uses of that physic is not exactly great. So I think this is okay. This is how I'm going to venture off. I'm going to have 3 units go left, 3 units go right, and the rest of my units go up. I think that is a good plan. The only problem is that I'm going to have to do a lot of shoving enemies out of the way, as well as KOing enemies out of the way. I halfway want to switch the parties, in fact. I do believe there are chest keys in this chapter. I'm going to have to make sure I do check that. Bolting. I can receive that turn 1. I'm actually going to be doing that if I can. Getting this bolting so I don't have to face it, as well as the fact that, you know, it'd be nice to have a bolting. Chest key. So there's one chest key here. And there is another chest key here. I do think that is all the chest keys. It's kind of unfortunate because what that means is that Volk is going to be able to take one chest. I'm going to be able to get one chest on each side. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to take 2 chests with Volk and then take the chest key with my mounted unit, which would be missed. I kind of don't want to do that though. Maybe it would be better if Titania went this way, so that Titania could be the one who takes the chest key. And then she will go open up the other chest here. So she'll open up one here, then one here, and 2 of them will be opened up by the other chest key I receive up here. I think that's the good plan. That's the idea here. Yes. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, time to fight. Perfect. I think this is going to go by pretty darn well. So, the whole point of this chapter is that you are fighting a mercenary group who are pretty evil in their doings. And how I mean that is, well, specifically because they're using hostages. Now, I'm going to be using Racin here for Titania for the fact that she needs to actually KO another one of these units in order so that another one of my units can shove this guy out of the way. I have 22 times 2, that's perfect. You do not at all want to KO any of the priests in this chapter. It's just not a good idea. Not even remotely. Shove. And I actually think this is fine. I'm going to use a pure water here. That seems like it would be a good idea. There are units or enemies that can reach Racin. I don't really like that. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is rescuing him. Yeah, so this is a bit of a misstep in my humble opinion. I could have, if I would have used like Titania and Raisin, I probably could have gotten this bolting unbroken on this very first turn. It is not at all going to be possible without some serious finagling. Sonic Sword. Nice, she got a level up. Level 19. That's okay. She doesn't really need strength anymore or anything of the sort, so... Alright. Can Ike reach you? No. I can shove Ike. And then I'll be able to reach him. So what I'm going to do here... Going to attack you. And then I am going to trade. Let's put the killing edge on you. Use a pure water. There's magic in this wonderful party. And I think I might actually be able to KO that guy with... Yes, I can. Probably for the best to move around, though. Perfect. Tormod and Devdan going to be very useful over here. I'm also going to bring Shin on. I don't really have to, but I think it's for the best if I have multiple units over here doing all the fighting rather than just like a couple. I think a Javelin is fine here. Nice. A little bit extra damage. Not great, but extra damage is extra damage. And that's my turn. It is time for the enemies to do their nonsense. So, yes, Tome Nami, as well as any of the other priests, will attack your units. So you kind of have to be very careful about that. 11 damage. Nice. Provoke is working wonders here. Instead of them all going after Ike, who is much less defensively capable, Toronio is soaking up all of the potential hits. And Raisin is dodging. This is actually good. I decided not to take Raisin out of the way or rescue him like I was originally thinking about doing. Enemy swiped a sleep. That's not good. It's actually very, very not good. I forgot that there was a thief there. So what I can do to make sure he doesn't continue thieving, because there's no way I'm going to be able to reach him, is I can actually attack him with a meteor. And of course it's going to one-shot because Tormod is a beast of a man with his magics. Got the sleep staff. Nice. Now I don't have to worry about him anymore. There is going to be a thief up here too, if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm going to do is trade the Thunder and the Sed back to where they need to be. And then strike you with the Xavier. Devdan seriously needs healing. I would have actually preferred to heal him with Tormod this turn. But there's kind of really nothing I could have done about that, especially since that the problem with thieves is that, yes, I'm going to get the items that they steal, but only the first that they steal. So had he gotten the other chest, it wouldn't have been so great. This actually kind of means that if I let the other thief take one of these chests, I do not, in fact, need to use Volk for anything here, which would be pretty darn nice if You ask me. You can go there. Yeah, so something I did want to alert to is that I decided to give Corrosion to Shinon because it's not that strong in this game. It's not that big of a deal. Ike has his wonderful Aether, so in certain instances triggers both Soul and Luna consecutively. So his first hit will heal him for how much damage he does, and his second hit will reduce enemies' defense by half. And then, of course, Tyronio, I gave him Vantage and Provoke. I was seriously thinking about Wrath, because Wrath and Provoke are a good combination, but I decided not. Alright, so... this is kind of a tough spot here. Yeah, kind of a very tough spot. I really want that bolting, and it's looking like I'm not going to get it for like another turn or two, if at the very, very least. It kind of makes you wish that this game had some of the skills that the previous games do. Also, kind of wish that Titania was better situated to do something, because I could use her to thin out this horde of enemies in the center right here. The problem is because you don't want to take out Tomnami or his gang. You want to shove or smite them out of the way. It makes for a much harder situation, more stringent. I do have Racing. $16 times 2. Okay. Yeah, this is not great. Spear. How about you? It would be kind of a big shame if Tomnami decided to attack Tyronio. But I kind of have to do this. Okay. Chant for you. Sonic Sword. So if Tomnami decides to attack Tyronio, Tyronio is obviously going to KO him. So what that means is that I will absolutely need to reset. And I already hate the idea of doing such. But it is a possibility, and if that happens, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I'll just say that. Okay, none of those guys decided to move. Very strangely. You guys need to be taken out as fast as possible so that I can deal with more important things, like, for instance, actually taking all these chests up here. Galzus. Well, I guess I'm going to use up the Galzus. So long, Galzus. You have been a great help. Titania has very much so appreciated the wonderful might of that incredible axe. In fact, it's one of the reasons why she was capable of doing so many very cool things. That is my turn. Okay, he's running away. Yes, there's a lot of things in this chapter worth stealing. Physics are some of those particular things. I think that's a recover there. Or is it a mend? Ooh. Attacking Morum, I appreciate that. I'm just honestly so glad that he didn't decide to attack Tyronio. That would have been a very sad moment. Yeah, so I am only going to get a 3 use on that good old, wonderful old bolting, but there's kind of nothing I could do about it because of the way I decided to have at this chapter. Usually I try to get the full bolting use, and it would have been better. I'm not going to reset for such, though. I think that's pretty trivial. Good job, Titania. Clearing out the rabble. Titania is one of the best units at clearing out rabble. So, time to shove Tome Nami out of the way. I'm going to chant for you. And then I'm going to attack this behemoth. Nice crit. Yeah, 3 use bolting. Not great. Smite, get out of my way. Yeah, a mend here, a physic here. That might be all that's worth stealing. I do know that these guys here, like this guy has a silence. And this guy has a silence, but they almost never use them. So it's almost one of those situations where it's like, well, why are they even a part of the chapter? But you kind of can't fault the game designers for making at least something look aesthetic. Like these guys are actually a danger when they're not particularly. Thank you for the chest key. I appreciate it. Might as well KO you. How about I use the silver blade? Would have been nice if I crit there, but nothing that can happen with that. You can't just like make that decision for the game. Yep, so shove you out of the way. Physic. Perfect. And Devdan is fully healed. The man was going to die. Sonic Sword, of course. You have to be very careful about your 1-2 range weapons, or even 1 or 2 range weapons on this particular chapter, especially if you are of the mind, as I am, to not KO the bishops and priests. There's been many times where I have had to reset. Get you out of the way. That doesn't help right now, but it can help later. Shove you forward. Mr. Stiletto can just stay here and wait. And that is my turn. Yeah, so you're going to attack Tyronio. That's, I mean, you're not going to do much of anything to him. I honestly want to say that I'm going to KO that warrior there with Mist. I think that's a good idea. This chapter is not as daunting as it immediately looks like it because there are a lot of enemies here, especially on difficult and higher. But if you are under the impression and understanding that, yes, you have the ability to shove and smite, you can get all of Tome Nami and his gang out of the way, which makes this chapter a lot easier once you approach it that way. Because though you have to be careful, yes, and I do fully understand you have to be careful, you still have some leeway. Yeah, she's equipping the killer axe right now, particularly for the Legu's unit, but I think what needs to happen here is that she needs to equip the wonderful, amazing, good old Flamberge, or hand axe, if the hand axe will do the job, because sometimes it will do the job. And Stefan is gaining his 12th level. I do believe he starts at level 8, so really only his 4th. Stefan's bases are incredible. The only character in this game that I think has significantly better bases, and this is partially due to the fact that the guy has resolve, is Tyronio himself. Okay, so I might potentially be able to position my units in such a way that I can dance for 4 this turn, which would be amazing. Okay, you can go there. Flamberge, I think it's going to be too much. Yeah, I can KO both of them with the regular hand axe. That's the thing. Forges are great, but you don't have to use them if all the enemies around you are going to be defeated by your non-forged weapons, because then you can save your forged weapons for better targets. A couple of things I did do in the convoy was I gave Titania 1 talisman, as well as I gave Tyronio 1 Ashira icon and 1 secret book. The rest of my particular... Oh, wow, he just one-shots. The rest of my particular wonderful stat boosters are going to be saved for a specific unit later on. Yeah, look, it's looking like Mist is going to need to use a Hammern on this Sonic Sword very soon, and that's frankly not really a problem. Defender is not needed. So, if you're looking close enough, you could see that my plan was to attack and KO with Ike there and then shove him, which is smart. I love the shove mechanic in this game and the smite mechanic, because those both combined allow you to do some pretty wild and crazy positioning things that just make your units even better than they already are, which I thoroughly enjoy. So, yep, I'm going to equip the spear here. You know what I just realized? This is a defeat boss chapter, not a route chapter. So, with that being said, I'm actually going to rescue... I probably should have moved her, though. Because this guy has a killer bow and a killer axe. Man, I don't like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take trade and drop Tyronio. And then I have quite a bit of things to do left in this area. Marked, killer bow, brave bow. Oh, you know what's interesting? If I gamble with the killer bow, 100 crit. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So I might actually be able to do something with that concerning this mercenary here. It's one of the reasons why I do actually think... okay, you're going to have to get KO'd by Tormod. Or at least weakened. How much damage was Devdan doing? Only 10, right? Well, I can do 15. So actually, I think a regular old Thunder is fine here, because that will mean that he'll be weakened enough that I can use just a good old hit of the Xavier. And he is gone. Totally forgot about their support, so yes. There was definitely no chance that that was not going to go that way. Gamble. That's kind of funny. Let's try it. did not work. But that is the end of my turn. Yeah, so Gamble, being able to have 100 crit, what that means is as long as you have even a little bit of hit, if you hit, you're going to crit. I don't know if like having 100 hit or 100 crit means that you have a guaranteed chance to hit and crit. I doubt that, being honest. But it would be interesting to test that out, per se. Okay, so he's actually attacking Shinon twice. That's not good. These guys are quite fast, so I can understand why they would be attacking Shinon twice, but I don't like it. Alright, Tyronio gets a little bit of healing. Well, a lot of healing, actually. This guy only has a simple dagger. So yes, I actually think I'm going to be able to just do what I was saying, which is very nice. So, as a little bit of a test here, let's see if this misses. Now, we're not going to be able to figure out if this is the case if he hits, but if this misses, then that means that 100 crit does not guarantee that you're just going to hit and crit. Yeah, okay. That's what I was expecting, but I did not know, and I wanted to know, so I made sure to find out. And I'm going to sling Thunder your way. Actually, I'm going to have to take care of him with Sed, because Thunder was not enough there. Yeah, this chapter is getting wrapped up for the most part. The problem is I still have all the chests to open. I don't have to move Titania over, so Tormod and them can open up these next chests. I mean, it's only turn 5. This is going to be fantastic, actually. Chest. Tomahawk, nice. So Volk needs to join the main party because I want to get the physics staff. I don't really care about the mend, but I definitely want the physic. And then you can guard the doorway because that sounds quaint and like something you should be doing. These 4 need to just get out of the way because I don't want to fight the boss right now. Due to the fact that when you KO the boss, obviously the chapter is over with. And that's just not at all what I'm wanting to happen. That is my turn. Perfect. Swiped a Bolganone. That is a sellable, in fact. And Tyronio is getting healed up. And he is cured of poison because status ailments do not last forever in this game, which is good, but also not good at the same time because there is some strategy behind making sure that you don't get statused, but also there's some strategy behind being able to status enemies and they're just status forever. A lot of people think that Thracia just had the permanent status because it was an old school game, but Genealogy comes before it and it has the 5-turn status as well. You don't really know what you're talking about, you know, when you say those kinds of things. But with that being said, I think it is wonderfully the time of episode to end off and bid my farewells. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform of choice. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.